pelvic stability. So that's a really good place to be. Challenge that. Don't cut it short. Go up to the top, wherever your top is, and challenge yourself. Let it stretch your hammies, hold yourself steady for that little bit, and then pull back down. That's how you're going to improve your strength.
So how would you explain that to a client to maintain that neutral pelvis?
Let them put their hands, put your hands in the small of your back. Alright. So when you're first starting, you might well be going, if the person is safe, and if they're not safe, you haven't got them in here, but I'll let them come up to a point, and then say, okay, you can still feel the arch in your back. If you go too far, can you feel the way it squishes your hands? And they go, yes. And then you go, okay, that's what I want you not to do. Don't let them send their legs over there. Alright? So it's about balancing it out. 99% of population without pathologies can cope with a little bit of lumbar pelvic movement. It's not a dangerous thing to do. You know, you've done cats, spine curls and everything else on the mat. So they're okay. They need to understand. Another good way of doing it, which I tend to do, and this might not be what you do in the exam, I tend to sit on the bar here, and I tend to control the carriage of my foot. Now, it's not something that I would necessarily let you do during the exam, but I find it useful. And if you then can take a foot out, most people can get to grips with the fact that when you raise and lower this leg, it doesn't need to act on the pelvis. So I'm passively moving Amy's leg. She's not doing it. So she can feel that the leg can move independent of the hip. And that gives her a sense of going, oh yeah, I can feel that that occurs. Then when you put them in the strap and say, now you do it, in those early stages it all goes pear-shaped because they then go, hold. And then they can't get their head around it. But if you've given them that chance to see it can move, then they'll get their head around it. So quite often I do that as a starting process and say to people, can you understand that leg can move independently of the pelvis, even if they stood and did this?
Hopefully they would have done.
They must have done up, down, downs. They must have done all those things, otherwise they're not on here.
Yeah.
So in theory they're supposed to know.
Yeah.
But you've inverted them and put them upside down with their feet in straps. It's not that familiar a position for most people. And I remember when I first got into straps. Does everyone remember when they first did it?